Welcome to the Miners' Den Show, Australia's most informative prospecting live stream. This is the place for the latest tips, tricks, videos and entertainment for the gold prospecting or treasure hunting enthusiast. In tonight's episode, we continue our treasure hunt with the Nocta coin and treasure detectors. We have a special presentation for you on coil windings. Jamie revisits the Red Ribbon Rebellion with the help of AI, and I'm giving away some fantastic kit to help you in the great outdoors. Plenty to get through tonight. I'm Gold Digger Dave. Let's get digging.
There's nothing like the sound of gold under the coil when I'm out there swinging my detector. That signal's so sweet when I hear that beep beep. Couldn't think of many things better. I heard some old tin that nearly got me in, and that piece of lead really had me sweating. But there's nothing like the sound of gold under the coil when I'm out there swinging my detector. All those little rusty nails I've dug to no avail, although the signal didn't sound good. But there's nothing like the sound of gold under the coil when I'm out there swinging my detector.
Well guys, little technical glitch when I was saying hello to everybody. I was saying hello to people on YouTube as well. Unfortunately, you may not have heard me, so we've got that fixed in time for the show. Let's get rolling along with it. The weather is starting to improve a little, and the Coffee Bush Kid and I are heading out for a bit of a detect on Thursday, tomorrow. And this time we'll be trying our luck with the Algo Force E1500 Plus in some areas of high electromagnetic interference. I'm looking forward to seeing if we can unearth some little nuggies. Now, the Miners' Den Demo Day was held at Bendigo store last weekend. With the inclement weather that was about on Saturday, we had to run the session indoors. A small but enthusiastic group attended who learnt a lot about the Nocta and Algo Force range of detectors, and were able to get a number of the attendees into their first metal detector and up and running in an exciting and rewarding hobby of gold prospecting or treasure hunting. Well, moving on to the gold price now, and it's still been trading in a sideways band, I really call, with not a lot of gain or loss over the past month. The price has been fluctuating in that tight band between about $5,000 and $5,200 per troy ounce. And having a look at the live gold price now, it's coming in at around about $5,124 per troy ounce for the gold currently at the moment. It's time to weigh in with this week's lucky viewer giveaway again. And here at Miners' Den Show, we love giving back to our supportive community. And every week we have a fantastic giveaway to help prospectors and treasure hunters get the most out of their outdoor adventures. This week we're giving away 2 sets of our 200-gram digital scales. These are perfect for weighing your gold nuggets and are accurate to 0.01 of a gram. They are supplied with a 50 gram calibration weight and tweezers. The scales can weigh in a variety of different modes, including grams, ounces, troy ounces, pennyweight, grains and carats. Keep watching and comment in the feed, and I will announce the winners a little later in the show. As usual, there is 1 set for the Facebook crew and 1 for the YouTubers. Head to minersden.com.au to check out the full range of our scales. In the first video for the show, the Coffee Bush Kid and I continue our hunt for treasure with the Nocta legend and the triple score around an old house site. Let's see how we go now. I'm Gold Digger Dave.
I'm the Coffee Bush Kid.
We're out here on an old house site, edge of the Whipstick. Magnificent winter's day here. The sun's really warmed it up.
Glorious.
And we've been digging on our previous clips some great little trinkets and things from here. Nothing of value yet, but let's keep going. Nice 22, 23. A little bit onto the ferrous side there. Down about 3 bars we can see. Let's have a dig and we'll find out what this item is.
Alrighty, Dave.
Let's get the shovel in there, nice and soft in there, Mr. Coffee Bush.
It is nice and soft. Can you please just run over that for me? Yep, still in that
Certainly in the clump there.
Rightio. Just break that open a little bit. Go in with the acupoint. Well, that's it. Ah! All right, now we're on. This is all right. This is actually, I'm going to say it's part of a suspender clip.
Okay, yep.
Comes in there.
And it's got that serrated bit on the other side there.
Yep, see the teeth there?
Would have dug into the fabric.
Yep. That's a nice little find. That's an older find, like that one.
Excellent. Loving our targets that we're getting out off this site. First time on it. We've been here a few times on the previous clips you've seen. Let's move on and dig another one. All right, the next target here, Mr. Coffeebush.
There you go, you can take that one.
Thank you very much.
Well, that sounds very insistent, doesn't it?
Does.
So that's nice and loud. That's telling me that it's very close to the surface. And it's also quite of size, but that's a nice solid target. We're going to have to dig that one out.
Well, we've scraped the top away, Mr.
Yep,
Coffeebush.
we
We reckon we're going to
certainly
hit this one all right with a pinpointer.
Yep.
Turn on the acupoint.
She's all on. Oh, that must be quite of size.
Quite a big object there. We're going to have a look anyway while we're down here. Very, very close to the surface, and we can see it coming up there. Okay.
It's a ring thing, Dave.
It is a ring thing. I'm not sure what it might have been off this one.
Outer casing of a bearing.
Outer casing of a bearing. A wealth of knowledge there, Mr. Coffeebush.
That's a ball bearing race, you can tell by the taper on it.
Yep.
So yeah, that's what that is.
All right, Mr. Coffeebush, next target's right here. So they're all in a fairly close area because we're on an old house site out here on the edge of the whipstick.
Yep.
Let's whip across to have a listen.
Oh, she's low.
So you can see a nice 20, most of it towards the right, telling you it's highly likely it's non-ferrous. A little bit on the ferrous side as we're going across it, but let's dig it out and see what it is.
Alrighty.
Right, let you do the honours there, Mr. Coffeebush.
Yep. That should be just about enough. You can have
the pinpointer.
Yep. All right, have a swing of that first, Dave.
I will swing over just to
There's
make
some
sure.
glass in amongst all there, so. No, that's it just there. Oh, actually,
Here we go.
no, because there it is right there. So
Okay.
that's just a piece of copper strapping again. So
Okay, again, another
non-fer-
target that should have
non-ferrous.
been removed
Yep.
if you had been detecting on this site, but by the number of targets, there's probably not a lot of people had a crack here as yet.
No, I don't think so.
And we're going to continue to have a crack.
We will.
I'm Gold Digger Dave,
I'm the Coffee Bush Kid,
and you're watching.
the Miner's Den Show.
Well, again, out on the old house site there with Mr. Coffeebush, unfortunately we haven't come up with any goodie. Well, we've found lots of interesting stuff, but we haven't found any coins and things like that as yet. I'm sure they must be on the site there. There's a lot of targets on there, so we keep working through that and see if we can't come up with something. Look, Peter was asking how long between charges for the detectors that we're using. So we're using the Nocta Legend and the Nocta Triple Score out there. You'll get about 12 to 15 hours out of a fully charged battery on either of those units, and then you can extend that out by the extra external battery that will slide underneath the handle on either of the units. And that'll get you out to around about 32 hours of charge time. So that's a great question there. Thank you very much, Peter. Again, if you have questions, guys, drop them in the feed and we'll try and get to as many as we can throughout the show. Now look, we're moving on now to this week's amazing discoveries, and we're heading to Buckinghamshire, England, where a metal detectorist uncovered one of the largest Anglo-Saxon coin hoards ever found in Britain. More than 5,200 silver coins buried for over 1,000 years. The coins date back to the late 10th and early 11th centuries, a time when Viking raids, political unrest and changing rulers. Around 985, there were many of them minted during the reign of King Ethelred the Unready. Well, King Ethelred the Unready. The rest of were struck under King of medieval England, its economy, its leaders, and the power struggles of the day. Experts think this hoard was buried in haste, likely to keep it safe during conflict. For reasons we'll never know, it was never retrieved until a lucky detectorist sweep over 1,000 years later brought it back to light. Next up, let's have a quick look at a quick quiz at our competitions. And competition time again. If you brought a can, bag, tub or bucket of Gold Digger Dave's gourmet pay dirt, you'll have one more day to get your photo in for this month's competition, where you could win a $50 Miners Den gift voucher for showing us your finds. Recently received an entry from Nathan who writes, "Pissing down rain, so a bag of Gold Digger Dave's pay dirt it was. I ended up with 15 bits of gold for a weight of around about 0.5 of a gram. How good to fill in a rainy day. Cheers." Look, great result there, Nathan. Best of luck for this month's competition. In our next video, it's back to the old house site again to continue our hunt for coins and treasure. Let's see if we got lucky this time. Great little find last time, Mr. Copybush. Here's another target that we've got.
Let's get into that
let's
one.
have a listen. Okay, a nice solid 36 all the way to the right, so I'm almost 100% certain that this is going to be completely non-ferrous. Nice and shallow. Let's dig it out and see what we've got.
Alrighty.
Okay, let you do the honours this time, Mr. Copybush.
Yep.
Scraping him out there, flip him over.
All right,
Have a listen again.
Yep, I'm going to flatten it out.
Yep, and it is coming in pretty consistently there. It's still our 36, 34.
Right, show me where it is, Dave.
Back this side here.
Yep. Oh, actually, there it is right there.
Okay.
Now, what have we got here? Oh, no.
Looks
No
like,
or yes?
not sure on that one, Mr. Copybush.
No, it's... Yeah, maybe not sure. It's got a threaded end. I want to say that it's some sort of valve, but I could be wrong. There's a hole in there. It looks like that is off a casting that's been broken.
Yep.
The thread up here has been broken. Yeah, interesting find. That's an interesting find.
Absolutely.
A nice little one, that one.
This site has been bringing us up lots and lots of different things that we haven't found on some of the other sites we've been on.
No, all good, interesting stuff.
Absolutely.
We've still got one more to go, so best we probably go over and see that one.
All right, let's take this one out, Mr. Copybush.
Yep.
Over the top there.
Oh, again, this is another very
Nice.
insistent. 31, 32, only a couple of bars down. Very insistent. I reckon we've got to dig that one up.
All right, let's drive the shovel in here.
Yep.
Take him over, just flip him over that way, bit out this side. Let's have a listen again.
Gee, it's nearly all over the place, Dave.
Let's have a listen again. I'll just see if it's, well, maybe it's not on the top.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, is it? Is it? Is it? Yes, it is.
Okay.
Dave?
I am still looking to see what it is, Mr. Copybush.
Okay.
But you obviously have an idea here.
I do. And if I said that we were on the money, you'd understand when I pull the purse bar out.
Huh. How good is that?
So you had your handbag that you would have opened up like that.
Yes.
And then your more precious-y stuff is in the inside. That's a bloody corker of a find, that one.
Absolutely, Mr. Copybush. Maybe we need to check that what was in the handbag is not still in the hole, just for interest's sake.
No, not really.
Not this time,
Nah.
Unfortunately. Well, that is a great way to end this little clip, Mr. Copybush.
I think it is, Dave. I think we are on the money with this one.
We absolutely are, and you're always going to be on the money if you're watching the Miners Den Show. Well, it's your turn to learn, Melbourne, it's your turn to learn more about the great hobby of gold prospecting and treasure hunting with the Miners Den Melbourne Demo Day. This is an information-packed day designed to help people who are considering taking up the hobbies of gold prospecting and treasure hunting select the correct Nocta or Algo Force metal detector for their needs. Full of information and handy tips to help you make an informed choice, the session covers the range of units as well as the other gear essential for getting great results when out in the field. Session kicks off at 10:30am and participants meet at the Miners Den Mitcham store at 10:15am. A short stroll down to the demonstration area and you'll get a full explanation of what the hobby is all about, as well as a feel the weight of the machines, hear what they sound like and have the opportunity to ask your questions. At the conclusion of the session, we head back to the store where we will feed you from our barbecue and you'll have a chance to further explore the metal detecting world, and of course get your questions answered by Miners Den metal detector experts. Who knows, we may even get you out digging your first metal targets. Book online at minersden.com.au or phone one of our Miners Den metal detector superstores. I look forward to seeing you there. Now look, if you've already got a detector, then our training calendar is always buzzing at Miners Den, and it's no wonder. We run hands-on metal detector training sessions Monday to Saturday, and you can book either a morning or an afternoon spot to suit your schedule. Whether you're swinging a Minelab, a Nocta or an Algo Force machine, our expert-led sessions run for 3 hours, including in-field training, practical hands-on use of your own gear. Your guide will walk you through all the ins and outs of your detector, share heaps of handy tips and show you exactly where to start your gold hunting journey. So, if you can get the most out of your equipment and hit the ground running. Look, if you're ready to book, call your nearest Miners Den metal detector superstore or jump online at minersden.com.au. Miners Den Australia's #1 in metal detector training. Look, next up I have a special presentation on coil windings. Okay, understanding the different types of coil windings can give you an advantage when hunting for gold nuggets. The information that I'm presenting here was prepared by Rowan at Nugget Finder Coils and is a summary of the different types of windings that are available in monocoils. So there are 3 main types of monocoil windings. There are a bundle wound winding, there's a semi-bundle wound, flat windings, also known as spiral wound. Look, I'm going to have a look at each of these winding types and show you what they look like before they're going into their plastic housings. So bundle wound coils. Bundle wound coils have traditionally been the most common type of or style of monocoil windings, and in most cases they offer the quietest and most stable operation. These are generally round and are quieter due to the fact that this type of winding is less susceptible to ground mineralisation, hot rocks and wet ground. Bundle wound coils are able to operate effectively in areas where there is some electromagnetic interference when compared with other types of winding such as flat wound coils. Bundle wound coils will generally be a little bit lighter than the other types of windings, and a most sensitive area of a bundle wound coil will be closer to the outer edge of the coil, making it easier to pinpoint with. The original Sadie coil is an example of a bundle wound coil. Look, the next type of coil, that is around, is a semi-bundle wound coil. And examples of a semi-bundle wound coils include the Sadie Mark II and the new Aussie coil from Nugget Finder. These coils tend to be generally rectangular or slightly oval. Semi-bundle wound coils tend to have a slightly improved sensitivity and depth when compared to bundle wound coils of the same size. When pinpointing with the coil, you will find it slightly more difficult as the most sensitive part of the coil moves further in from the outer edge of the coil. Semi-bundle wound coils are also very good at handling ground mineralisation and EMI, but they're not quite as good as what you get when you're looking at a bundle wound coil, the first one we were talking about there. The last type of coil I'm going to have a bit of a look at here are the flat wound or spiral wound coils. These coils again look different from the windings that I've shown you on the bundle and semi-bundle wound coils, and as the name suggests, the flat windings are positioned with each loop of wire sitting horizontally against the previous turn. There are a number of features of this type of windings, including that the flat wound coils offer the best performance of any mono winding type in production. The biggest increase in performance is noticed on smaller targets when compared to the same size bundle or semi-bundle wound coil. Well, with a flat wound coil, you'll find that you will cover less ground at the surface level and it will become a little harder to pinpoint, with the most sensitive part of the coil is located more towards the centre of the coil. Flat wound coils are also affected a little bit more by ground mineralisation, hot rocks and wet ground, and of course EMI, and they'll be slightly heavier when compared to the bundle or semi-bundle wound coils of the same size. The flat wound or spiral wound coils need to run with a lower gain and more conservative settings to help reduce the ground noise and EMI. So to summarise, the best overall performance is the flat or spiral wound coils, such as the Evolution or the Evo 2 coils. But there are some downsides to the increase in performance. Bundle wound or semi-bundle wound coils offer better user experience, but not the same level of performance. Look, I'm sure this is going to lead to another bunch of questions that I may not be able to answer correctly on tonight's show. So if you've got questions about any of those coil windings or anything like that, put it into the feed or on our regular call out for questions, and I'll get the answers and bring them to you on the next episode, or a future episode I should say, of the Miner's Den show. Well, that's something really to get wound up about. Now, in our last video for the evening, Jamie revisits the Red Ribbon Rebellion with the help of AI. Let's have a look at that one now.
G'day, it's Jamie back with another episode of Gold Rushes of Australia. This week I'm going to do something a little bit different, and that is I'm going to revisit a subject that we've explored before, the Red Ribbon Rebellion of Bendigo in 1853. Why do I want to revisit this? Because the first time that I covered this, I missed out some important details, and on rereading the history of this major event, it dawned on me that there was a lot I'd missed out in the first telling. So tonight I'm going to tell you the story off the cuff. It might take a couple of episodes, and I'm also going to be using AI to help bring the stories to life. Let me know what you think of that. Let me set the scene. In 1853, there were thousands, perhaps 40,000 miners on the Bendigo goldfields looking for that precious alluvial gold. And guess what? It was starting to become harder to find. And that had the effect of making that dreaded 30 shilling a month license fee harder to find for those who were finding less gold. And on top of that 30 shillings, which is about a week's wages for a labourer during these times, the Lieutenant Governor Latrobe, in his wisdom, had put together a motley crew of licence inspectors whose job it was to go around the goldfields enforcing the licence fee, imposing fines and locking up those who couldn't or wouldn't pay it.
Show me your licence or pay the fine. This is the second time this week.
Now, unfortunately, Latrobe allowed these often corrupt troopers, and this is the reason why, to keep half of every fine they collected. So this opened the door for what was called digger hunts, where these troopers would ruthlessly track down any digger or hunt diggers who didn't have a licence on them. They may have had one, but just maybe not on their person, because remember, these diggers are often down wet holes. They're working with water all day, so that piece of paper could easily become muddy, keeping it in your pocket all day. But that didn't matter to the police inspectors. So pretty much the diggers had had enough. They'd had enough of not having the right to vote and being taxed anyway, that 30 shillings. They also had a problem with not the land being locked up by the squatters. It was still hard for these miners who might want to turn into farmers to get land because the squatters had it locked up for their sheep. So in 1853, in the winter of 1853, a Captain Brown assembled a small group of diggers and they started to organise, to protest the licence fee, the lack of vote and the locking up of the lands. They continued to meet and the numbers grew. To a point, there were 10,000 diggers on what's called All Saints Hill in the heart of Bendigo, all saying the same story. They wanted to pay no more than 10 shillings a month licence fee. That was what they thought was a fair deal. They wanted the vote and they wanted access to the land. So pretty quickly they put together a petition and went around the goldfields and collected something like 23,000 signatures that were presented by a representation of miners to Lieutenant Governor Latrobe himself.
Here are the diggers' signatures, sir. That will be all, gentlemen.
Now, initially, Latrobe was dismissing, brought an end to the meeting, sent the diggers on their way, and nothing changed. But the diggers kept organising, kept meeting, and their numbers continued to grow.
Well, that's very interesting. Some AI recreating what was going on back in the Red Ribbon Rebellion. Great little idea there, and yeah, very, very good to watch. Thank you, Jamie. Look, in the break there, I had Kim, who's asking a question on any good tips on good detecting places in New South Wales. Our Tibooburra trip was cancelled due to influenza A. Look, Kim, yeah, look, there's lots of places to go hunting in New South Wales. We're a little bit further away from the main capital city, but there's lots of maps and books and things like that that are available. Notably, Doug Stone's Gold Atlas of New South Wales has all of the places all over New South Wales, as well as some individual maps that you'll find at minersden.com.au. If you're using Nocta Legend out there or a Algo Force machine, it doesn't matter which goldfield you head into. Those machines are targeting some of that smaller gold, and there's still plenty of that left out there to be found. So have a look on online there. You can pick yourself up some stuff. I've done some work around Safala, Hill End, out around Stewart Town. Found a few little pieces out there in previous years. So you just got to keep going over the goldfields. You're walking around with the right detector, being the Algo Force or the Nocta Legend, you're bound to come over some gold in a goldfields very, very shortly. Now look, it's time to go to Ask Dave now, and this is where I get to answer your questions that were submitted during the week. And first up, I've got a question from Michael, who asks, "Hi Dave, can you explain what makes gold mode on the Nocta Legend work better than the standard relic modes when looking for gold?" Excuse me. Hi Michael, the advantage of using the gold mode when hunting for gold nuggets on the Nocta Legend is it has been optimised to handle the mineralised soils that are often found in the goldfields. This ensures that the machine can operate with minimal interference from ground mineralisation that gives you off a false signal like a metallic object. So if you were to put your machine into the relic mode, you would be getting a lot more false signals from that ground mineralisation. If you're hunting gold nuggets, then you'll get best results also by using the smaller 6-inch coil that comes with the Legend. Using the smaller 6-inch coil will take a smaller reading from the ground mineralisation, helping to keep the unit running stable. The smaller coil is also more sensitive to smaller nuggets, and there are many more of these out there than football-sized bits, unfortunately. So you've got a better chance of going home with some yellow rocks. If your machine runs more stable, then you also have a better chance of hearing the faint targets, which may be a small piece of gold. Thank you for the question, Michael. I hope that helps a little there. Next up, I've got a question from Amy's Dad 07, who asks, "Is there a club in Vic that a newbie can join to get advice on expanding knowledge?" Look, hi Amy's Dad 07. There are many clubs that are in Victoria that have regular meetings and field outings that you could join. A good start would be to join the PMAV, as they have regular meetings and many of the members are also members of the various Victorian clubs. If you head to pmav.org.au, you'll be able to learn more there. Now look, thank you all for your questions. If you have a question at home, put it in the feed or on one of our regular call-outs for questions, and I'll do my best to answer it on next week's show. Let's have a look now and find out who the lucky winners of this week's Miners Den giveaways are. Just about out of time, as I said, for tonight's episode of the Miners Den Show. Thank you for tuning in on YouTube and Facebook live streams. Let us now find out who the lucky winners are of our 2 sets of 200 gram digital scales. This time it is congratulations to Nadine G. Congratulations Nadine G on Facebook, and congratulations to Luke C on YouTube. You guys let Corey know your details in the feed and we'll get those out to you ASAP. Of course, if you're near a store, then let us know and you'll be free to drop into either Miners Den Melbourne or Miners Den Bendigo and pick those up. Now look, just a quick little peek with the next show. It's all we've got time for episode 223. Another excellent show and made very much possible thanks to you, the Miners Den community. Before I sign off, let's have a look at what's coming up on 224 episode of the Miners Den Show. We'll fire up the Algo 4C 1500 Plus and see if we can't find a nugget or two. We'll keep you updated with our growing range of fantastic products. Jamie is back with more Gold Rushes of Australia, and there'll be much, much more. I'm Gold Digger Dave. Thank you for watching the Miners Den Show.
There's nothing like the sound of gold under the coil when I'm out there swinging my detector. That signal so sweet when I hear that beep beep. Couldn't think of many things better. I heard some old tin that nearly got me in, and that piece of lead really had me sweating.